Thank you for joining me today. My name is Denise Berg, and I am a candidate for the Master of Arts in Social Emotional Learning at Sanford College of Education at National University. Approximately 9 years ago, my daughter suffered a severe concussion that led to persistent post-concussion syndrome, resulting in significant physical and mental changes. We found a mental health program that truly made a difference. Witnessing the positive transformation in my daughter opened my eyes to the untapped potential in students struggling in my classroom. It caused me to look at our SEL program through a different lens. On Friday, March 13th, 2020, my district shut down as a result of a worldwide pandemic that would forever change the social landscape of education. We are back in our classrooms, but it will never be the same. I knew I wanted to pursue further education that would benefit both me and my students. When I discovered the MA SEL program at National University, I knew it was the ideal fit. My passion for SEL and desire to learn more led me here. I began my research journey by focusing on actions within my control that could positively impact my classroom environment. One persistent challenge was the high frequency of negative student recess interactions. This meant that students came back to my class in a state of mind where they were unable to learn. Furthermore, I was often compelled to investigate these issues instead of moving forward with classroom instruction. I noticed that when I took the time to line up my students and wait for them to be calm before I sent them to recess, incidents like running on the blacktop and arguments at the ball bucket were greatly reduced. I wondered if I could expand on this sense of calm by providing a brief mindfulness activity immediately before students left for recess. I wondered if that would improve interactions. My question is as follows. How does the implementation of a 5-minute mindfulness activity before recess or lunchtime affect the self-awareness, self-management, and relationship skills of students in a 5th grade classroom? It's important to note that recess is a crucial part of the school day. It offers a much-needed break from the rigors of classroom instruction and provides opportunities for children to interact. Exploring interventions to improve student behavior during recess is essential. Past interventions have included structured activities and extrinsic rewards. One study found that extending recess time initially increases conflicts, but in the long term it actually led to a reduction of issues. Mindfulness is gaining attention as an intervention for various populations worldwide. Research has identified positive effects on self-awareness, or the understanding of one's emotions, personal goals, and values. Mindfulness promotes self-management skills, such as the emotional regulation and impulse control. Heidieri et al. 2022 found that mindfulness activities reduce rule-breaking behaviors in boys with externalizing behaviors. Similarly, Seiblink et al. 2022 observed improvements in self-control among children with ADHD through mindfulness intervention. Additionally, mindfulness has been showing promise in enhancing relationship skills, including empathy, active listening, conflict resolution, and clear communication. There is no existing research that identifies the use of a short mindfulness activity immediately before recess in order to improve recess interactions. Mindfulness is a practice rooted in Buddhist meditation and defined as, quote, the awareness that emerges through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to the unfolding experience, moment by moment, unquote. In this study, I implemented age-appropriate mindfulness activities, each lasting between 3 to 5 minutes. The 6 different activities were randomly assigned each day: slow breathing, focused breathing, body scan, sound mindfulness, stretching mindfulness, and gratitude exercises. A common theme across these activities is the practice of grounding oneself to develop a sense of calm. Students were encouraged to become aware of their bodies, their breath, and their environment to foster mindfulness. Specific activities included slow breathing, where the teacher described explicit tools for slowing one's breath; sound mindfulness, where students were asked to focus on a sound and listen until they could no longer hear it. Finally, gratitude exercises prompted students to think about things they were grateful for and to express that gratitude in their minds. Study participants were students in my 5th grade classroom whose families completed permission. The study was split into 2 phases. The baseline phase lasted 10 days without any mindfulness intervention, and then the intervention phase, which also lasted 10 days, during which mindfulness activities were conducted immediately before students went to recess. The same participants were involved in both phases, making this a quasi-experimental design. For data collection, I observed 1 recess and 1 lunch each day of the week. This approach ensured that both the day of the week and the time of day were considered as potential variables that could affect the results. This study employed 3 data collection tools, integrating both quantitative or numerical and qualitative or non-numerical data, making it a mixed methods approach. The first tool was strictly quantitative, a student survey exit ticket that measured energy levels and positivity immediately after the mindfulness activity. The second tool involved observational data collected during recess, where I tracked previously identified behaviors using tally marks. I also made descriptive comments. The third tool was a digital reflective journal that students retrieved from Google Classroom and completed once they returned from recess. This journal included a total of 11 reflective questions addressing personal behavior, interactions with others, and how students could improve the recess experience for everyone. It comprised 6 quantitative questions, 1 checklist, 2 Likert scales, and 3 yes, no, maybe questions, along with 5 qualitative questions answered in short answer format. Improved self-awareness was a key aspect of my research question, so I will highlight findings that suggest mindfulness practice may improve self-awareness in students. I analyzed quantitative data by creating graphs and observing numerical changes, and qualitative data by identifying trends both before and during intervention. One significant finding from the student survey exit ticket was a 4.5% increase in reported negativity immediately following mindfulness activities. While this does not support mindfulness as a direct improvement for recess behavior, it aligns with Miller et al. 2017, who found that mindfulness can increase awareness of a broad range of emotions. Thus, the rise in negative emotions might indicate that students were becoming more attuned to their emotional states, even if these emotions were not always positive. Another finding was a 3.3% decrease in the number of students who were unsure if they had negative interactions at recess. The reduction in uncertainty suggests that students became more confident in identifying and categorizing their interactions. Self-management was another crucial component of this research. The behavior tracker showed a significant 57% reduction in observed negative behaviors during the mindfulness intervention. Notably, there was an 80% decrease in unsafe play and a 58% decrease in unkind words and gestures. These results suggested that mindfulness enhanced students' ability to regulate their actions, particularly in challenging social situations. Finally, relationship skills were a key focus for this research. While there was an increase in disagreements, it's noteworthy that none required adult intervention. In one instance, I observed a student while passing the basketball courts. This student suggested a redo to resolve a disagreement between 2 other students. This study had limitations that could have affected the data. Firstly, the presence of the researcher may have inadvertently influenced student behavior. During the initial baseline data collection at lunchtime, school staff noted improved behavior compared to normal, suggesting a potential observer effect, where students' behavior improved because they knew their teacher was watching. Secondly, data collection coincided with state testing periods. This appeared to impact student behavior. Students reported feeling restless and needing more physical activity, potentially influencing their actions during recess. Additionally, an unexpected variable occurred when there was a mid-study increase in recess supervision staff from 2 to 5 teachers. This change, which did not occur during lunchtime observations, likely improve student behavior. Furthermore, the study design and methodology presented inherent limitations. The use of reflective journals as part of the intervention may have contributed to observed changes in student behavior, as reflective journaling may have shown improved social emotional learning skills. Chenais et al., 2023. Moreover, the study's short duration and the aggregation of data at the class level rather than the individual student level to ensure anonymity presents additional limitations. While some students may have demonstrated individual growth, these changes were masked with the combined class data. While these changes may form a baseline for a more impactful study regarding mindfulness as an intervention, the observed changes were modest and inconsistent. The use of a brief mindfulness intervention before recess did not significantly improve students' self-awareness, self-management, or relationship skills. Previous research indicates that consistent and frequent mindfulness practice is necessary in order to be effective. Thus, the infrequent use of mindfulness as a short-term intervention was unlikely and is unlikely to produce significant changes. This research suggested several promising directions for further exploration into the relationship between mindfulness and student behavior. One recommendation is to refine the research data by intermixing intervention days with non-intervention days. For example, instead of implementing mindfulness activities for 10 consecutive days, a more practical approach might involve alternating between intervention and non-intervention days. This staggered structure would help mitigate the influence of extraneous variables, such as changes in school policies or fluctuations in students' behavior due to school testing, allowing for a more accurate assessment of the intervention's impact. Furthermore, while the study focused on brief mindfulness activities, future research should investigate the potential of comprehensive classroom mindfulness programs to achieve the same desired behavioral improvements. A significant gap existed in understanding how consistent mindfulness practice, integrated into daily routines, might influence student interactions and behaviors, particularly during unstructured times like recess. It would be valuable to explore the implementation and evaluation of such programs, specifically focusing on their effects on promoting positive social interactions and reducing conflict during recess. This has been an incredible journey, and I have grown both as an educator and as a person. I want to express my gratitude to all the professors at National University who have led by example. Professor Cuny, Professor Mora, Dr. Nafziger, Dr. Meacham, Dr. C, and Dr. Metcalf. Your patience with my endless questions has been invaluable. To my friends and coworkers, thank you for listening to me describe in excruciating detail my views on SEL. I also want to extend my thanks to my district, students, and their families for trusting me with this study involving our precious children. To my daughter Morgan, your journey continues to inspire me. I completed my master's before you could catch up with your bachelor's degree, but soon you will surpass me in education. I am so proud of you and love you dearly, kiddo. And to my life partner, Bill, you have taken on extra responsibilities as I spent countless hours at my computer. Your love and support mean the world to me. I love you.